Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the story of one of the most iconic symbols in the world, the Statue of Liberty. We all know her standing tall and proud in New York Harbor, but how much do you really know about how she got there? The story is way more fascinating than you might think. It's a tale of grand ambition, international friendship, and some serious engineering challenges. So, let's rewind the clock to the mid-19th century. The idea for this colossal gift came from a Frenchman named Édouard de Laboulaye. He was a politician, a writer, and a huge admirer of the United States. He was particularly inspired by America's recent abolition of slavery after the Civil War. Laboulaye saw this as a triumph for the ideals of liberty and democracy, ideals that he hoped would take root more strongly in his own country, France, which was going through some political turmoil at the time. On 1865, at a dinner party near Versailles, Laboulaye proposed the idea of creating a monument to commemorate the alliance between France and the United States during the American Revolution. He imagined a grand gift from the people of France to the people of America, a symbol of their shared commitment to freedom. He believed it would not only honor the past but also inspire the future of both nations. Now, an idea is one thing, but turning it into a 305-foot-tall statue is another. This is where talented sculptor Frederick August Bartholdi enters the picture. Bartholdi was at that dinner party and was completely captivated by Laboulaye's vision. He was already known for his large-scale sculptures, and this project was the opportunity of a lifetime. Bartholdi traveled to the United States in 1871 to find the perfect location. As his ship sailed into New York Harbor, he spotted a small island called Bedloe's Island. It was perfect. He saw it as a gateway to America, where the statue could greet millions of immigrants arriving in search of a new life. He envisioned her as a majestic greeter, a beacon of hope for all who entered the harbor. Back in France, Bartholdi began designing. He didn't want a statue of a revolutionary figure brandishing a weapon. Instead, he chose a more serene classical image. He modeled her after Libertas, the Roman goddess of freedom. He gave her a crown with 7 rays, symbolizing the 7 continents and 7 seas, radiating liberty across the world. In her left arm, she holds a tablet inscribed with the date of the American Declaration of Independence, July 4, 1776, written in Roman numerals, and in her right hand, held high, is a torch, symbolizing enlightenment and progress. If you look closely at her feet, you'll see she's striding forward, breaking free from broken chains, a powerful and direct reference to the end of oppression and slavery. With the design set, the next massive hurdle was actually building it. This was an engineering puzzle of epic proportions. How do you build a statue so enormous that it can withstand the strong winds of New York Harbor? For this, Bartholdi needed an engineering genius, and he found one in Gustave Eiffel. Yes, that Eiffel, the man who would later build the Eiffel Tower. Eiffel's solution was brilliant. Instead of a solid, heavy structure, he designed a flexible iron skeleton on the inside. Thin, hammered copper sheets less than the thickness of 2 pennies would then be attached to this frame to form the statuesque skin. This technique, called repousse, allowed the statue to be incredibly detailed and strong, yet relatively lightweight and able to sway slightly in the wind without breaking. It was a revolutionary approach to large-scale construction. While the French team was hard at work, there was one condition to this grand gift: France would pay for the statue. But the United States had to pay for the pedestal she would stand on. This turned out to be a much bigger challenge than anyone anticipated. Fundraising in America was slow. The project stalled, and for a while, it looked like Lady Liberty might never have a home. The statue was being assembled in Paris, a tourist attraction in its own right. But the pedestal was nowhere near complete. This is where another key figure steps in: Joseph Pulitzer, the famous newspaper publisher. Seeing the project in jeopardy, Pulitzer launched a massive fundraising campaign in his newspaper, the New York World. He didn't just target the wealthy, he called on everyday Americans, including schoolchildren, to donate whatever they could, even just a few cents. He published the name of every single person who contributed, no matter how small the amount. His campaign was a huge success. It captured the public's imagination, and in just a few months, more than 120,000 people had donated, raising the final amount needed to build the pedestal. It became a true people's project. With the pedestal funded, the statue could finally make her journey. In 1885, she was disassembled into 350 individual pieces, packed into over 200 crates, and shipped across the Atlantic Ocean. Once she arrived in New York, it took another 4 months to reassemble her on her brand new pedestal on Bedloe's Island, which would later be officially renamed Liberty Island. Finally, on October 28, 1886, the big day arrived. It was a massive celebration. New York City held its first ever ticker tape parade. President Grover Cleveland presided over the dedication ceremony, declaring that the statue's light would pierce the darkness of ignorance and man's oppression. The Statue of Liberty, officially titled Liberty Enlightening the World, was finally unveiled to the public. But the story doesn't end there. The statue's meaning has evolved over time. Initially, she was seen primarily as a symbol of democracy and the Franco-American alliance. However, her location near Ellis Island, the main entry point for immigrants for decades, gave her a new and profound significance. In 1903, a bronze plaque was added to the pedestal, featuring a sonnet by the poet Emil Lazarus called The New Colossus. Lazarus had written the poem used earlier for a fundraising auction for the pedestal. Its famous lines, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free," became the unofficial anthem of the statue. She transformed from a symbol of Republican ideals into the mother of exiles, a welcoming figure for millions of immigrants seeking freedom and opportunity in a new land. For so many, seeing her for the first time, after a long and arduous journey, was a moment of incredible emotion and hope. Over the decades, Lady Liberty has needed some care. By the 1980s, after nearly a century of enduring wind, rain, and pollution, she was in desperate need of a major restoration. Her original torch was corroded beyond repair. In another great display of public and private partnership, a massive fundraising effort was launched to restore her for her 100th birthday. A team of French and American artisans and engineers worked for years, repairing the iron skeleton, cleaning the copper skin, and replacing the original torch with a new one covered in 24-karat gold leaf. The original torch is now on display inside the Pedestal Museum. Today, the Statue of Liberty remains one of the most powerful symbols in the world. She represents freedom, hope, and the enduring friendship between nations. She has witnessed history unfold, from welcoming waves of immigrants to standing as a silent, resilient beacon during times of national crisis. She's more than just a statue, she's a promise of a world where liberty enlightens all. So the next time you see a picture of her, or maybe even visit her in person, you'll know the incredible journey she took. From a visionary idea at a French dinner party to a crowd-funded American icon, her story is a testament to what people can achieve when they work together for a grand ideal. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as inspiring as I do, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history's greatest landmarks. Let me know in the comments what you think the Statue of Liberty represents to you. See you next time.